any kind of music to people who don't care is soul-sucking.
Go make real money doing anything else.
They would just hire someone to sit at the keyboard, even if like they're not even a keyboard player. They just needed someone to look like they were playing keys.
This is the loading dock, right? Tonight I'm playing at Stage AE for a wedding. I didn't even know they did weddings here, but apparently they do. This is cool. This is also 7 times the amount of stage room that we normally have.
Oh my
This is
God,
my camera.
yeah.
You want
I
in?
hope you're ready to dance and take up space.
Yeah. Every time people ask who you are in my videos, I don't know.
I don't know what this is gonna look like.
Hey. I know, right?
I don't think I've ever played a gig where I was actually bummed about it.
Really?
Ever.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You played no soul-sucking gigs?
No.
How's it going, man?
Good.
This is nice. We have a lot of space and people can't come up and ask us to play songs.
Head back to horns real quick.
You want me to unbutton a few?
Yeah.
You like that? Like what we're working with here?
I'll plug your OnlyFans.
I guess let's try a song.
Think these gigs aren't soul sucking to you?
If you make it that way,
Yeah.
I don't like answering real questions.
No, I'll send it to you ahead of time. Shoot. Beautiful overhead lighting. So I'm gonna practice some of these horn parts while everyone else is going to get some food and drinks. We have a little bit of time between sound check and when we actually play. So yeah, it's like 3:15. We don't have to be back here setting back up until 5. So in the meantime, I'm gonna get a little practice done, and I also brought my laptop, so I'll probably get a little bit of editing done too. I was gonna get some B-roll, but it's freaking boring.
All right, now at this time, at the request of the bride and groom, they would like for everybody to now take the dance floor for a group photo.
This will be another 7.5 minutes probably. Can I ask you a question for my video?
Depends on what the question is.
This is JD Chasen, trumpet player. He's been in a bunch of my videos. The question is, are wedding band gigs soul-sucking?
Good question.
Just be patient for 1 second, folks. I think they're gonna raise these chandeliers so that we can get a clear shot.
I don't think any gig is soul sucking unless you allow it to be.
So everybody keep rubbing elbows and be patient. We'll get that thing up in a second.
Everything has its place, every gig has its place, everything is important in its own way. So I think it's just a matter of perspective.
And by we, I mean not me. Please do not direct your anger in my direction.
You've played no soul-sucking gigs?
No. Never.
Wow, okay. That's crazy.
I'm just grateful to be...
Internal mindset. I think.
Okay, yeah.
I always go into it like I want to do a good job, so it's
Yeah.
like I'm focused on playing well and doing a good job, and it's like executing my part.
All right, this dance floor is open. Go ahead and get down, boogie.
Exactly.
Well, how many hours would you have to work
Yeah,
at another job
yeah.
to make what we're making today? And like the majority of what we're doing today is sitting around,
Yeah.
and hanging out. It's
Yeah.
like it's not so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing soul-sucking about ever playing music ever for me. Yeah.
Frank said like the same exact thing.
The same thing?
Yeah. So it's
Yeah,
so funny
well
to
that's
hear you say
why Frank and I get along so well.
it. Yeah, similar philosophy.
It's Frankie After Dark, get out.
Are you guys doing a podcast right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I sit on top of you?
I I've done plenty of original music gigs or like something I cared about, like that was satisfying to a certain degree on an artistic level. But like if no one's there or no one cares, even if you love the material, even if unless I don't know, I think there's probably some people who can like just play their own music and not care about the impact that it has on other people. But there have been times where like you can just see that your performance of like a song that meant something, because I'm getting emotional now. Like sometimes you can really tell that like your presence made a difference, and you know, it's the ones where they could take or leave it, or honestly it's clear that they would have preferred an iPod that they could touch. Like that is soul sucking.
Yeah, a lot of clients just want cardboard cutouts of a band and for you to hit play on the songs they like. They don't really want to hear, you play horn, you know. Also, keep this in mind. A lot of people who go to weddings never hear a band. There are people who travel to go to hear a wedding and may only hear a band once or twice in an entire year.
And even some of them don't even hear bands because they're all playing the tracks.
Right, so that's
another thing. Like that would be more soul sucking.
Oh yeah, that would be so soul-sucking.
Check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, a lot of wedding bands will use tracks, and like you have to play like to like in ears where the track is just like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you have a bunch of like samples of stuff, and that's soul sucking.
Yeah, that was awesome. You actually spurred this because last week
beautiful.
we played our first wedding game of the season, right? And you said someone said to you, "Isn't that soul sucking?" Do you think wedding gigs are soul sucking?
No.
And why not?
Well, they're not for me.
Yeah.
No, honestly, they're not for. They probably are for him. I mean, that's more his problem. It's a personal problem. It's not the music. You know, you can't blame the gig for how you feel about yourself.
Whoa.
This is cheesy. Anytime I get to play my guitar is bananas fun.
Yeah.
And it's the hang. You know what I mean? You hang out with awesome people, you crack jokes.
Yeah.
Then you get to play great music.
Yeah, it cuts to Vince trying not to...
My face hurts so bad from last gig from Vince.
Don't believe me, just watch.
The right size of a chocolate chip cookie. Right here.
Are we actually playing this? There's not horns on this, are there? Yeah. We're just gonna go right to the third set. Well, this is the third set, right? This is the third set. Oh, that's right. Yeah, sorry. Oh, okay. Oh, sorry. I think half of my stuff is back here and the other half of my stuff is on the other side of the stage. Say bye to the vlog. How long till we get that Dingwall endorsement? I'm telling you.
They already said no to me.
What?
Yeah, I asked them initially.
Well, when was that?
I got it. Huh?
Yeah, but when was that? Like a couple years ago? You're about to open up for
Krusty Krab.
You got a lot of stuff in the pipeline. I don't know.
We can't talk about that.
Well, I won't put it in the video.
Bye, Frankie's Fools.
Frankie's Fools, that's funny. I feel like that's a little degrading though, don't you think? I'll be honest, I'm very grateful for all of the wedding gigs that I've had over the last year, and I'm looking forward to a full year of them again this year. There are a lot of benefits to playing these kinds of gigs, and I don't necessarily find them soul-sucking, especially because I'm lucky to play with a really great band with awesome musicians. The energy's always good and the music's always tight. But one of the biggest benefits for me at this point in my career is getting to work stuff out in front of an audience in like a low pressure environment. For example, like tonight, I was playing alto, right? And we played the song Only the Good Die Young.
Only the good die young.
And there's an iconic tenor solo on that, and I always play it on tenor, and normally I play it pretty spot on, close to the record. And I've played it on alto a handful of times, but tonight I went to play it and I like got the altissimo A out and then just kind of like flubbed the, I was like, oh crap, I don't even remember where the solo goes from here. And so I ended up just kind of like improvising, and that was kind of the first time I've done that. I'm almost always trying to play that solo exactly as it is. And I felt like I kind of recovered in a way that was convincing, if that makes sense. Like, I definitely did not play exactly what I wanted to play, but I think I recovered. In that environment, it's very forgiving to make those kinds of mistakes. Also, something else that I'm really struggling with at this point in my career is still getting nervous. Like, even though this is a low pressure gig, like, I get nervous to solo, I get nervous to play specific things that I've worked out in the practice room. And so like this year, one of the things I really want to work on is like taking the extremes that I'm working on in the practice room, like super high altissimo stuff, and just like figure out how to dial that in front of an audience, because oftentimes what happens for me at least is I can play it fine in the practice room, and then when I get nervous, I'm like tensing up a little bit or something's changing in my voicing, and all of those little tiny adjustments make a huge difference in the extreme registers of the horn. And so I become very frustrated when I can't get that stuff out. Also, I'm still just like learning tons about being a musician on these gigs. Like tonight I was watching Frank Cohen, who has played tons of giant gigs in front of thousands of people all over the world. And one of the things I noticed when we were sound checking was the hand signals he used to tell the sound guy what he wanted in his monitor. He went like this up, and that was like, oh, he wants the vocals up. And he just like instinctively did that, and the sound guy like adjusted it. So I'm just like learning a bunch of stuff by getting to be around these people that are more experienced than me, and it's a good thing for me right now in this point in my career, and I'm grateful for any opportunity I have to play any gig. I'm certainly not above these gigs, and I take them as an opportunity to make good money and keep learning and getting better and better at my instrument in a forgiving environment. All these musicians in the video will be linked in the description, so check them out, show them some love, and thanks for watching. I thought about like asking everyone again in 8 months, you know, like when it's the end of the year and everyone's played 50 gigs this year.
Exactly, that's the other part of it, is like you can start with the best intentions, but like, you know, anyone who's overworked in any job is going to be like, I'm exhausted. And maybe that has nothing to do with the actual wedding gig. But it's more just about other factors.
Well, I'm just going to say it's about Santa Claus.
Santa Claus.
I'm going to sit on top of you, tell you what I want for Christmas.